Imagine for a moment that you're standing on the edge of a vast, pristine lake. The water is crystal clear, reflecting the sky above like a perfect mirror. There's not a ripple to be seen. It's absolutely still. Now picture yourself as that lake, calm, untroubled, reflecting only beauty and serenity. This, my friends, is the essence of learning to act as if nothing bothers you. But let's be real. We are not always that tranquil lake, are we? More often than not, we are caught in the stormy seas of life, tossed about by waves of worry, anxiety, and stress. We let every little thing bother us, from the driver who cut us off in traffic to the coworker who never refills the coffee pot. We carry these irritations with us, letting them weigh us down and cloud our vision. But what if I told you there's another way? What if you could learn to navigate life's choppy waters with the same grace and ease as that still, untroubled lake? That's what we are here to explore today, how to act as if nothing bothers you. Now, I want to be clear. This does not mean becoming numb or indifferent to the world around you. It's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending that challenges don't exist. Instead, it's about developing a profound inner peace that allows you to respond to life's ups and downs with equanimity and wisdom. Think about it. How much of your life have you spent bothered by things beyond your control? How many hours, days, or even years have you wasted fretting over what someone said or did not say? How often have you allowed external circumstances to dictate your internal state? I remember a time when I was constantly bothered by the little things. I'd get upset if my flight was delayed, if someone disagreed with me, or if my plans did not work out exactly as I'd envisioned. I was like a leaf in the wind, blown this way and that by every gust of circumstance. But then I realized something profound. The only person suffering from my irritation was me. You see, when we allow ourselves to be bothered, we are essentially giving away our power. We are saying my peace, my happiness, my well-being, it's all dependent on things outside of myself. But that's a lie that's been fed to us by society, by our upbringing, by our own limiting beliefs. The truth is your peace is always within you. It's your birthright. And no one, absolutely no one, can take it away unless you let them. So how do we start to act as if nothing bothers us? It begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing life's challenges as problems, start seeing them as opportunities. Opportunities for growth, for learning, for becoming more of who you truly are. Let me share a story with you. There was once a young man who was known for his bad temper. His father, hoping to teach him a lesson, gave him a bag of nails and told him that every time he lost his temper, he should hammer a nail into the fence. The first day, the boy drove 37 nails into the fence. But as the days went by, he found it easier to control his temper, and the number of nails he hammered gradually decreased. Finally, the day came when the boy did not lose his temper at all. He told his father, who suggested that now, for every day he kept his temper under control, he should pull out one nail. Many days passed, and eventually all the nails were gone. The father took his son to the fence and said, "You've done well, my son, but look at the holes in the fence. The fence will never be the same. When you say things in anger, they leave a scar just like this one." This story illustrates an important point. Every time we allow ourselves to be bothered, we are hammering a nail into our own peace of mind. And while we can learn to remove those nails, the scars they leave behind take much longer to heal. So, how do we stop hammering those nails in the first place? It starts with awareness. The next time you feel bothered by something, pause, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this really worth disturbing my peace over? Most of the time, you'll find that it is not. That driver who cut you off, they'll be out of your life in a matter of seconds. That rude comment from a stranger, it says more about them than it does about you. That mistake, you made it work. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. When you start to look at life this way, you'll find that very few things are actually worth being bothered about. And for those rare occasions when something truly significant does occur, you'll be in a much better position to handle it with grace and wisdom. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but wait, you don't understand. My life is really difficult. I have real problems that I can't just ignore. And I hear you. I'm not suggesting that we ignore life's challenges or pretend they don't exist. What I'm proposing is a radical shift in how we respond to those challenges. You see, life is going to throw curveballs at us. That's a given. We can't control what happens to us, but we absolutely can control how we react to what happens. And that, my friends, is where our power lies. Think about some of the most admired people in history. People like Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, yet emerged without bitterness. Or Viktor Frankl, who survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camps and went on to develop a profound philosophy of meaning. These individuals face circumstances far more challenging than most of us will ever encounter, yet they chose not to be bothered. They chose to find meaning, to grow, to become more in spite of Mabiwar, or perhaps because of their challenges. I'm not saying it's easy. Learning to act as if nothing bothers you is a practice, a discipline. It's like building a muscle. It takes consistent effort and time, but the rewards are immeasurable. Imagine moving through your day with a sense of calm and purpose, regardless of what's happening around you. Imagine being able to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and grace rather than knee-jerk reactions. Imagine the peace you'd feel, the energy you'd have, the positive impact you could make on the world around you. So how do we cultivate this ability? Let me share with you some practical strategies that have worked for me and countless others I've had the privilege of working with over the years. First and foremost, we need to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply the act of being fully present in the moment without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. When you are mindful, you create a space between stimulus and response. You are no longer at the mercy of your automatic reactions. The next time you feel bothered by something, pause. Take a deep breath. Notice the physical sensations in your body. Are your shoulders tense? Is your jaw clenched? Simply observe these sensations without trying to change them. Then, turn your attention to your thoughts. What story are you telling yourself about the situation? Is it really true? Could there be another perspective? This simple practice of pausing and observing can be transformative. It allows you to step out of the drama of the moment and into the role of a compassionate observer. From this vantage point, you are much more likely to respond wisely rather than react impulsively. The second strategy is to practice gratitude. Gratitude is like a magic elixir for the soul. It has the power to transmute even the most challenging situations into opportunities for growth and appreciation. When you're focused on what you're grateful for, it's very difficult to stay bothered by the little annoyances of life. Make it a daily practice to list at least 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a kind word from a friend, or the feeling of the sun on your face. The more you practice gratitude, the more naturally it will come to you, even in challenging situations. I remember a time when I was stuck in a massive traffic jam. In the past, this would have been a source of immense frustration for me. But on this particular day, I decided to practice gratitude instead. I found myself feeling thankful for the comfortable car I was sitting in, for the interesting podcast I was listening to, for the extra time I had to reflect and plan my day. By the time traffic started moving again, I felt relaxed and energized rather than stressed and annoyed. The third strategy is to cultivate compassion, both for yourself and for others. Often when we are bothered by something, it's because we are judging either ourselves or someone else harshly. We think, I shouldn't have made that mistake, or they shouldn't have done that. But what if we could approach these situations with compassion instead? What if, instead of getting angry at the person who cut us off in traffic, we could think maybe they're having a really tough day, or perhaps they did not see me? What if, instead of berating ourselves for a mistake, we could say, I'm human and humans make mistakes. What can I learn from this? Compassion does not mean condoning bad behavior or letting people walk all over you. It simply means approaching life with an open heart and a recognition of our shared humanity. When you practice compassion, you'll find that very few things have the power to truly bother you. The fourth strategy is to focus on what you can control. So much of our stress and irritation comes from trying to control things that are simply beyond our power to change. We can't control other people's actions or opinions. We can't control the weather or the economy or the myriad other external factors that impact our lives. Our own thoughts, our own actions, our own responses to what life throws our way. When you shift your focus to what you can control, you reclaim your power. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a creator of your own experience. The next time you find yourself bothered by something, ask yourself, what aspect of this situation can I control? Maybe you can't control the fact that your flight is delayed, but you can control how you use that time. Maybe you can't control your boss's mood, but you can control your own attitude and the quality of your work. The fifth strategy is to practice detachment. Now, this does not mean becoming cold or uncaring. It means learning to observe life's ups and downs without becoming overly attached to any particular outcome. It's about understanding that everything in life is temporary, both the good and the bad. When you are detached, you can enjoy life's pleasures without clinging to them, and you can face life's challenges without being overwhelmed by them. You become like that calm lake we talked about at the beginning, reflecting whatever comes your way without being disturbed by it. One way to practice detachment is to regularly remind yourself of the impermanence of all things. When you're enjoying something pleasant, remind yourself that this too shall pass, not to diminish your enjoyment, but to deepen your appreciation. And when you're facing something difficult, remind yourself that this too shall pass, not as a way of avoiding the experience, but as a way of putting it into perspective. The sixth strategy is to cultivate a sense of purpose. When you have a clear sense of what truly matters to you, the small annoyances of daily life tend to fade into the background. You become less likely to sweat the small stuff because you're focused on what really counts. Take some time to reflect on what gives your life meaning. What are your core values? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? When you're clear about your purpose, you'll find that you naturally become more resilient in the face of life's challenges. I remember a time when I was giving a lecture and my microphone kept cutting out. In the past, this would have really bothered me. But because I was so focused on my purpose, sharing ideas that could help people live better lives, I was able to handle the technical difficulties with humor and grace. The audience actually ended up feeling more connected to me because of how I handled the situation. The seventh strategy is to practice forgiveness. Holding on to grudges and resentments is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. When we refuse to forgive, we are the ones who suffer. We carry the weight of our anger and hurt, and it colors everything we do. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful behavior or allowing it to continue. It simply means releasing the negative emotions associated with the event. It's a gift you give yourself, not the other person. Start by practicing forgiveness in small ways. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic or said something unkind. Instead of holding on to that anger, practice letting it go. You might be surprised at how much lighter you feel. The eighth strategy is to take care of your physical health. Our mental and emotional states are deeply connected to our physical well-being. When we are tired, hungry, or in pain, we are much more likely to be bothered by things that wouldn't normally faze us. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating a balanced diet, and engaging in regular physical activity. These basic self-care practices can dramatically increase your resilience and ability to handle life's challenges with grace. The ninth strategy is to surround yourself with positive influences. The people we spend time with, the media we consume, the environments we inhabit. All of these have a profound impact on our state of mind. You are constantly surrounded by negativity and drama. It's going to be much harder to maintain your inner peace. Choose to spend time with people who uplift and inspire you. Read books and watch programs that feed your mind and soul. Create an environment that supports your well-being. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. The 10th and final strategy is to practice acceptance. This does not mean resigned acceptance or giving up. It means acknowledging reality as it is rather than as you wish it to be. When we resist what is, we create suffering for ourselves. But when we accept what is, we free up our energy to respond effectively. The next time you find yourself bothered by something, try saying to yourself, "This is how it is right now." Notice how this simple acknowledgement can help you relax and see the situation more clearly. I want to address something important. Some of you might be thinking, but Wayne, if I stop being bothered by things, won't I become complacent? Won't I lose my drive to make positive changes in my life and in the world? This is a common misconception, but nothing could be further from the truth. Acting as if nothing bothers you does not mean becoming passive or indifferent. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When you are not wasting your energy on being bothered by things you can't control, you have more energy to devote to making a positive difference where you can. Think about it. Who's more likely to affect positive change? Someone who's constantly stressed and irritated, or someone who's calm, centered, and focused? When you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you become more effective in every area of your life. You'll be a better listener because you're not caught up in your own reactions. You'll be a better problem solver because you can approach challenges with a clear mind. You'll be a better leader because people are naturally drawn to those who exude calm confidence. You'll be a better friend, partner, and family member because you'll bring a sense of peace and stability to your relationship. Moreover, when you're not easily bothered, you become a powerful example for others. In a world that often seems chaotic and stressful, your calm presence can be a beacon of hope and inspiration. People will notice the difference in you and want to know your secret. Remember, acting as if nothing bothers you is not about suppressing your emotions or ignoring problems. It's about responding to life's challenges from a place of inner peace and wisdom rather than knee-jerk reactions. It's about choosing your battles wisely and focusing your energy where it can have the most positive impact. As you practice these strategies, you'll likely find that your definition of what's bothersome begins to change. Things that used to irritate you might start to seem trivial. You might even find humor in situations that would have stressed you out in the past. But what about those times when something truly significant happens? What about when we face real tragedy or loss? How can we act as if nothing bothers us then? In these moments, it's important to remember that acting as if nothing bothers you does not mean denying your feelings or pretending everything is okay when it's not. It means allowing yourself to feel your emotions fully without being overwhelmed by them. It means trusting in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. When facing significant challenges, the strategies we've discussed become even more important. Mindfulness can help you stay grounded in the present moment rather than getting lost and worry about the future. Gratitude can help you find glimmers of light even in dark times. Compassion can help you be gentle with yourself as you navigate difficult emotions. Focusing on what you can control becomes crucial in times of crisis. You may not be able to change the situation, but you can control how you respond to it. You can control the choices you make, the support you seek, and the meaning you create from your experiences. Detachment can help you maintain perspective, reminding you that even intense emotions and difficult circumstances will eventually pass. Your sense of purpose can provide a North Star to guide you through turbulent times, helping you stay focused on what truly matters. Forgiveness becomes especially powerful when dealing with deep hurts or betrayals. It's not about excusing harmful actions, but about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. This process takes time and often requires support, but it's a crucial step in healing and moving forward. In times of crisis, taking care of your physical health becomes more important than ever. Stress can take a toll on your body, so prioritizing sleep, nutrition, and exercise can help you stay resilient. Don't underestimate the power of a good night's sleep or a nutritious meal in helping you face challenges. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is crucial during difficult times. Seek out supportive friends and family members who can offer comfort and perspective. Consider joining support groups or working with a therapist who can provide professional guidance. Acceptance plays a vital role in navigating major life challenges. It does not mean you like what's happening or that you won't work to change things. It simply means acknowledging reality as it is, which is the first step in responding effectively. As you practice these strategies, you'll develop what I like to call emotional resilience. This is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to adapt to change, and to keep going in the face of adversity. It's like building an immune system for your emotions. Think of emotional resilience as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Each time you face a challenge without letting it completely derail you, you are building that muscle. Each time you choose a thoughtful response over a knee-jerk reaction, you are getting stronger. Over time, you'll find that your baseline state becomes one of calm and equanimity. You'll still experience the full range of human emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, but you won't be at the mercy of these emotions. You'll be able to experience them without being overwhelmed by them. This does not mean you'll never feel bothered again. We are human, after all, and it's natural to sometimes feel frustrated, annoyed, or upset. The goal is not to become some kind of emotionless robot. The goal is to develop the ability to choose your responses, rather than being controlled by your reactions. When you do find yourself bothered by something, treat it as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to become stronger, wiser, more compassionate? In this way, even moments of irritation or stress can become stepping stones on your path of personal development. Remember, too, that this is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you handle challenges with grace and ease, and days when you struggle. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Celebrate your progress, learn from your setbacks, and keep moving forward. As you continue on this path, you may notice some interesting changes in your life. You might find that you attract different kinds of people and opportunities. When you're no longer easily bothered, you become a source of stability for others. People are naturally drawn to those who exude calm confidence. You may also find that you have more energy and creativity. When you are not wasting mental and emotional energy on being bothered by every little thing, you free up that energy for more constructive pursuits. You might discover new interests, tackle long-held goals, or find innovative solutions to problems. Your relationships may improve as well. When you are not easily triggered or reactive, you become a better listener, a more understanding friend, a more patient parent, a more effective colleague. You create a space of calm around you that allows others to feel heard and valued. You might even notice improvements in your physical health. Stress has a profound impact on our bodies, And by learning to remain unbothered, you are reducing the amount of stress hormones flooding your system. Many people report improvements in conditions like high blood pressure, headaches, and digestive issues as they learn to manage their reactions to stress. But perhaps the most significant change you'll notice is in your overall sense of well-being. When you are not constantly bothered by things, you are free to fully engage with life. You can be more present in each moment, more appreciative of the good things, more equanimous in the face of challenges. This state of being is what many spiritual traditions refer to as peace that passes understanding. It's a deep, abiding sense of okayness that persists regardless of external circumstances. It's the realization that your core self, your essence, is untouched by the ups and downs of daily life. Achieving this state does not mean you'll never face difficulties or feel negative emotions, but it does mean that you'll have a stable foundation from which to face life's challenges. You'll be like a deep-rooted tree that can bend with the wind without breaking. As you move through your days with this newfound equanimity, you may find that you become a catalyst for positive change in your environment. Your calm presence can have a ripple effect, influencing those around you to react less and respond more thoughtfully. In the workplace, for example, your ability to remain unruffled in the face of challenges can help create a more positive and productive atmosphere. In your personal relationships, your emotional stability can provide a sense of safety and security for your loved ones. You might even find yourself naturally taking on leadership roles as others look to you for guidance in navigating difficult situations. Your ability to maintain perspective and respond wisely becomes a valuable asset in any group or organization. But remember, the goal is not to never feel bothered. The goal is to develop the capacity to choose your response, even when you do feel bothered. It's about expanding your ability to hold space for all of your emotions without being controlled by them. This capacity allows you to engage more fully with life. When you're not afraid of being bothered, you are more willing to take risks, to try new things, to put yourself out there. You become more authentic in your interactions because you're not constantly trying to avoid discomfort or seek approval. You might find that you laugh more easily, find more joy in simple pleasures, and appreciate the beauty in everyday moments. When you are not caught up in being bothered by things, you have more attention available to notice the good in your life. This does not mean adopting a naive or Pollyanna-ish attitude. It's not about pretending everything is always great. It's about developing the emotional intelligence to navigate all of life's experiences, the good, the bad, and everything in between, with grace and wisdom. As you continue to practice acting as if nothing bothers you, you may find that your perspective on what's truly important begins to shift. Things that used to seem like big deals may start to feel insignificant in the grand scheme of things. You might find yourself naturally prioritizing experiences and relationships over material possessions or status symbols. This shift in perspective can lead to a profound sense of freedom. When you are not constantly chasing after things you think will make you happy or running away from things you think will bother you, you are free to simply be, to fully inhabit each moment of your life. This state of being is what many philosophers and spiritual teachers have pointed to as the key to true happiness. It's not a fleeting emotional high, but a deep, abiding sense of contentment and peace. But let me be clear, this is not about becoming passive or accepting injustice. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you're not ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine when it's not. Instead, you're approaching challenges from a place of calm strength rather than reactive emotion. In fact, you may find that you become more effective at addressing real issues in your life and in the world. When you're not expending energy on being bothered by every little thing, you have more resources available to tackle the things that truly matter. You might become a more powerful advocate for causes you believe in, a more effective problem solver in your work, or a more supportive friend and family member. Your calm, centered presence can be a powerful force for positive change. As you move through the world with this attitude, you may find that you naturally inspire others. People will notice the difference in you, the way you handle stress, the way you respond to challenges, the overall sense of peace you exude. They may start to ask you for advice or try to emulate your approach. This gives you an opportunity to share what you've learned, to help others find their own path to inner peace. But remember, the most powerful teaching is by example. Simply by living your life in this way, you are showing others what's possible. Of course, this journey is not always easy. There will be times when you struggle, when old patterns reassert themselves, when you find yourself bothered by things you thought you'd move past. This is all part of the process. The key is to approach these moments with the same compassion and equanimity you are cultivating for the rest of your life. When you find yourself slipping into old patterns of being bothered, Treat it as an opportunity for practice. Notice what's happening without judgment. Breathe. Remember your strategies. And then choose your response. Over time, you'll find that these moments of struggle become less frequent and less intense. You'll develop a kind of emotional muscle memory, automatically responding to challenges with calm and wisdom. But even as you develop this skill, it's important to remain humble and open to learning. Every person you meet, every situation you encounter has something to teach you. Stay curious, stay open, keep growing. In fact, many people find that as they develop this skill, they actually feel emotions more deeply. But instead of being overwhelmed by these emotions, they're able to experience them fully while maintaining a sense of inner stability. This ability to fully feel without becoming overwhelmed is what allows us to truly engage with life. It allows us to love deeply without fear of getting hurt. It allows us to pursue our goals with passion while remaining unattached to specific outcomes. It allows us to stand up for what we believe in without being driven by anger or fear. As you continue on this path, you may find that your entire relationship with life begins to shift. Instead of seeing challenges as problems to be solved, you might start to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Instead of trying to control everything in your environment, you might learn to dance with life, to flow with its rhythms and changes. You might find that you become more spontaneous, more willing to embrace the unknown. When you're not afraid of being bothered, you are free to explore, to try new things, to step out of your comfort zone. This attitude can lead to a rich and fulfilling life, full of growth, learning, and meaningful experiences. You become more available to the present moment, more able to appreciate the beauty and wonder of everyday life. But remember, this is not about reaching some perfect state where you are never bothered by anything ever again. It's about developing the capacity to choose your response in any given moment. It's about expanding your ability to hold space for all of your experiences without being controlled by them. As you practice this way of being, you may find that your definition of success begins to change. Instead of measuring your worth by external achievements or possessions, you might start to value inner qualities like peace, wisdom, and compassion. You might find that your goals shift from acquiring things to growing as a person, from impressing others to living authentically, from controlling your environment to cultivating inner strength and resilience. This shift in priorities can lead to a profound sense of fulfillment. When your sense of well-being comes from within, rather than depending on external circumstances, you have access to a source of happiness that's always available to you, regardless of what's happening in your life. You might find that you become a source of strength for your friends and family, a calm presence in times of crisis, a wise advisor in moments of confusion. Your ability to maintain perspective can be a valuable asset in any situation. As you continue to practice acting as if nothing bothers you, you may notice that your intuition becomes sharper. When you are not clouded by emotional reactions, you can more clearly see the truth of any situation. You become better at reading people, at understanding the dynamics at play in your relationships and environment. This heightened awareness can help you navigate life more skillfully. You'll be better able to anticipate potential problems and address them proactively. You'll have a clearer sense of when to act and when to wait, when to speak up and when to listen. Remember, though, that this journey is ongoing. There's no final destination where you are perfectly unbothered all the time. Life will continue to present challenges, and you'll continue to have opportunities to practice and grow. The key is to approach each moment, each interaction, each challenge as an opportunity to choose your response, to act from a place of inner peace and wisdom rather than knee-jerk reactions. As you do this, you'll find that your life becomes richer, more meaningful, more aligned with your true self. You'll be less at the mercy of external circumstances and more in touch with your own inner resources. You'll discover a sense of freedom that comes from knowing that your well-being does not depend on things going your way. You'll develop a deep trust in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. This does not mean you'll never feel fear, anger, or sadness. These are natural human emotions, and they serve important purposes. But you'll be able to experience these emotions without being controlled by them. You'll be able to use them as information rather than letting them drive your behavior. In essence, learning to act as if nothing bothers you is about developing emotional maturity. It's about expanding your capacity to hold space for all of your experiences without losing your center. As you cultivate this skill, you may find that you become more compassionate both towards yourself and others. You'll have a deeper understanding of the human experience, of the struggles we all face. This compassion can transform your relationships. When you're not easily bothered, you are more able to see things from other people's perspectives. you are more likely to respond with empathy rather than judgment. As you embark on this journey to act as if nothing bothers you, remember, your peace is not found in the absence of challenges, but in your ability to navigate them with grace and wisdom. Every moment offers a choice, to react or to respond, to be bothered or to grow. Choose wisely, for in that choice lies the power to transform not just your life, but the world around you. Now go forth, unbothered and unbound, ready to embrace life in all its magnificent complexity.